Oh, I watched this movie once, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about this one scene. A girl bleeding on the floor, her foot mangled, her mother holding a knife, and all of it, because of a shoe. Now you might think you know what this is, but trust me, this isn't the story you were told as a child. Stick with me to the end, because halfway through we'll uncover the moment everything shifts. And near the end, there's a detail almost no one talks about, one that changes how you see her entirely. She wasn't born into beauty, or power, or love. Her name was Elvira, and from the very start she'd been told by everyone that she didn't belong in places where beautiful things happen, but she didn't want the throne. She wanted freedom, a way out of that broken home, a way to rewrite the story she'd been given. Then came the royal ball. That night, she wore the best dress she could afford, painted her face with borrowed makeup. She even practiced a smile in the mirror. She had one plan: to be noticed. And for a second, it worked. The prince danced with her. People watched. She felt like someone. But then another girl arrived, covered in mystery, draped in a glowing gown. No one knew her name. The prince dropped Elvira's hand like it meant nothing, and walked toward the masked girl without a word. And Elvira? She watched, frozen, replaced, invisible again. What she didn't know was that the masked girl was her own stepsister, Agnes. When they locked eyes across the ballroom floor, everything shattered. Agnes ran. A glassy shoe slipped from her foot. The prince picked it up like it held the universe in it. "Whoever fits this shoe," he said, "will be my bride." Now here's your first curiosity loop, because later we'll uncover what that shoe really stood for. It wasn't just about marriage, it was about truth. Elvira went home shaking. Something unholy settled in her bones. She tore through drawers, closets, beating Agnes, screaming at her until she found the other shoe, the matching one. She tried it on. It didn't fit. Her foot was too wide, too rough, too real. And so, she did the unthinkable. With trembling hands, she grabbed a kitchen knife and began cutting. One toe, then another, until blood spilled across the tiles and she collapsed from the pain. Her mother burst in, shirt half buttoned, a man trailing behind her. When he saw the mutilated foot, he fainted. Elvira couldn't even cry anymore. And just when you think it can't get worse, here's the second twist. She cut the wrong foot. Before I tell you what her mother did next, let me ask you something. If the world told you your value could be found in someone else's shoes, how far would you go to make them fit? Would you bleed for it? Drop your thoughts below. I read them all. And if you're drawn to dark stories that feel too real, hit subscribe. This channel isn't just about movies, it's about the people inside them. Elvira could barely whisper, but her mother didn't hesitate. She picked up the knife and started cutting again. This time the other foot. Elvira's eyes fluttered. Her lips moved like she was praying, but no one was listening. By morning, she couldn't walk, couldn't stand, could barely breathe, but she still believed. That morning, the prince returned. His voice echoed down the halls. "My princess is here." Elvira smiled. She dragged herself off the bed, crawled down the stairs, feet wrapped in blood-soaked rags, bones clicking against the floor. She reached the bottom, dreaming of love. And the prince? He walked right past her, to Agnes. And here's the final curiosity loop payoff. You remember that man her mother was sleeping with? There's a theory, barely whispered, that he was tied to Agnes's father's mysterious death. That Elvira was never just the outsider. She was the child of a secret. She didn't cut her toes for love. She cut them to matter, to escape the hell she'd been trapped in, to prove just once that she could be chosen. But the shoe wasn't magic. It was a mirror. And it never lied. Elvira didn't lose because she was ugly. She lost because she tried to become someone else. And in doing that, she erased herself. There's no spell more tragic than believing you have to suffer to be seen. And sometimes the most haunting stories aren't the ones with monsters. They're the ones with mothers, with mirrors, with shoes that never fit.